The purpose of art is exactly the same as the purpose of these meetings. In other words, it is to, in these meetings we are speaking, whether we're having a conversation or a guided meditation. And we're using words which are expressions of thoughts. But the purpose of those thoughts is not to lead to other thoughts. And that is what is unique about these meetings, or any true spiritual meeting, is that unlike most thoughts, whose purpose is to deliver its referent, is to go towards to lead the thinker towards the object that is being thought. What is unique about these meetings is that they take thought in the opposite direction. Thought is like a piece of string. Actually, attention is like a piece of elastic because it's stretched, and there are always two ends to it. Thought is in time. It's always coming from somewhere and going towards something. So it's like a piece of elastic made out of time. On one end is the object. On the other end is its source. Almost all thoughts go towards objects. Events in time or objects in space. And the purpose of them is to lead the thinker or the hearer towards the object or experience. What is unique about these meetings and similar meetings is that it takes thought in the other direction. It turns thought around towards its source, not towards its referent. And that is what is unique also about the thought about our true nature. The thought about ourself is a unique thought, is that it is a thought that brings thought to an end. It delivers thought to its source. Now, art does exactly the same thing, but with perception rather than thought. Perception means seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and smelling. So a painter uses mostly sight, which means colour. A musician uses sound. A sculptor uses sight and touch. A cook uses taste and smell. A flower arranger uses sight and smell. So all the arts, in fact, have a mixture of all the 5 sense perceptions, but they focus predominantly on one. A painter on seeing, a musician on hearing. And the purpose of an artist is to take the sense perceptions on a journey, not towards the object, but towards the subject. In exactly the same way that thought can go in 2 directions, either towards the object or the state, or it can go towards its source in pure awareness. The purpose of art is to take the senses on a journey back to the source of perception, which is pure awareness. Now, when thought goes on this journey and takes us back to its source, thought comes to an end, and the experience that ensues is called understanding or truth. In other words, the experience of understanding or truth is not something that happens in thought. It happens when thought comes to an end in its source. Yeah? Now, when an artist, or just an experience in nature, takes the senses on a journey and delivers the senses back to the source of perception, the perception dies or dissolves in the same awareness that the thought dissolves in. And yet we give it a different name. When the thought dissolves, we call it understanding or truth. When the perception dissolves, we call it beauty. Just as understanding is not in thought, beauty is not in perception. It is the dissolution of perception in its source. And that is the purpose of art. To reveal that experience, to deliver beauty